Hello, everybody. Becky Raney here, and today I'm coming to you to talk to you about lots of questions that I get. I get a lot of questions from you regarding wellness concerns, like somebody came to you and they have this or that that they're working on or that they're concerned about, and you'll come to me and ask me, how do I deal with this or how do I deal with that? And you'll send me the doctor report. And that tells me that you're not asking a lot of questions. You get immediately overwhelmed with all the big words that the doctor puts out on those forms. And it is very disconcerting. You don't know how and you want to get it right. And I get that. It's always good to have someone else put an eye on it. And I'm just going to tell you one thing to give you some freedom around this. We are not doctors. We never should actually refer to our customers as patients because we are just like them. We are people that we are looking for natural health solutions. And we are, one of the things that is so incredible, a girlfriend told me that, we're coming back to the olden days where we used to knit together, cook together, and to really share lots of information. And that's really what this is about is we come together and share information on what's working and what's not working. And all over the world, we are very similar. We have um pimples, we get married, we have babies, we are people, and we all have a body that is amazing machine that does many things, right? And so when you're talking to somebody, really it's basically pretty simple. And I want to make this simple. So if you're talking to a client and they're saying, "Oh, I've got this health issue," and you're stuck, okay, so what I want you to do is before you reach out to me, because I'm going to turn around and ask you these questions, okay? So I'm going to share with you my list of questions I came up with. And these are something that there's a lot of questions here, but you don't need to ask them all. But if you think about it, they're all very simple and basic. Okay. And I created this PDF form so you can actually print it out and use it, maybe in your folder or something when you're going to someone's home. And or you can send it to them as well. Say, hey, in order for me to help you find the resources to get to the root cause of what's going on here, we've come up with a list of questions. There's quite a few of them here, but if you went to the doctor, hopefully they would ask you these questions, but many doctors don't, right? So this is why we're talking about this. Um, so here's the first question. What symptom or health issue are you experiencing? Now, I want you to be writing these answers down, have them write these answers down. And if you don't feel satisfied with that, like I get people, um, well, what are they experiencing? Well, I'm not sleeping. Okay, so why are you not sleeping? Is it because you're overstressed and you can't turn your brain off? Is it because you have a tummy ache? Is it because you have heartburn? I mean, what are the issues that are going on there, right? So do a deeper dive. Get really good at asking more questions so you can really get a sense of what the person is going through. So many people turn into the victimhood, which is understandable. I'm not saying that that is wrong because they're so frustrated and so, scared, or they don't know how to deal with something. And so they just only want to complain about it. And so we want to get past that complaint and actually just look at really what is going on, right? It's kind of like getting through the weeds to find the real plant there. Um, so basically, are you experiencing any pain? If so, can you describe the type of pain and the location? When did these symptoms first start? Like, how long have you been dealing with this? Has it been 10 years? Has it been just a week? Was it because of a car wreck? Was it because you tripped and fell and broke your leg? Was it because one leg is shorter than the other? Is the pain something that you're dealing with on a scale of 1 to 10? One being, oh, it's not a big deal. It's just annoying, right? 10 being, I can't stand on my leg. It's something that's really, I need to do something now. And if you find out like how it happened, if they got in a car wreck and they broke their leg, well, it's going to be difficult to have essential oils repair their leg in a day, right? It's just you have to be reasonable and work with the expectations here that is happening. Now, how does the condition affect you on a daily activities or quality of life? So, if it's somebody got in a car wreck 10 years ago and they broke their leg, they never got it set, and they can't walk on their leg very well, it's going to be very difficult to work with that, right? And so, but if they say they don't tell you this information and you're trying to give them oils that are going to help with helping the body heal itself faster, and because you're thinking it happened last week, but it was 10 years ago, you can understand why these questions are very important, right? Maybe it's a stomach issue. Have you noticed any triggers or patterns associated with these symptoms? So if it's a stomach issue, maybe it's something that they've been dealing with when they eat certain foods or when they're stressed out, or when they're not eating at night, or when they're eating late at night, right? And so, are they eating bad foods? And so being able to ask many questions if they have associated with that. What you're doing is you're actually helping this person start to really pay attention to what's going on with their body and get out of the victimhood mindset and actually get into the, oh, well, really, what is happening? And really start paying attention to the body. Have you sought any previous medical attention with this treatment or condition? Sometimes doctor or people don't tell you that they've been to the doctor, or maybe they will not go to the doctor, right? So you can get a real sense of where they are in their mind on what they really want to do or not do, right? When you're going through and really thinking about they really want natural health solutions and that they're really going to want to go after this, then you can actually decide on what kind of kits that they're going to be helpful with. If it's a stomach issue, then maybe they need to work on all gut health, detoxing, figure out maybe some foods that they're eating that they shouldn't be eating, change their diet up for them, work with them on that kind of mindset. And if because their diet is helping them or not allowing them to sleep at night, then maybe they need to really look at some protocols for sleeping better to help them get through that, to get on top of everything, right? Have you had any recent testing done? And, any, like, X-rays or things like that done that are related to any health concerns? Like, if they had X-rays done when they got in that car wreck 10 years ago, or if they fallen and broken their hip 2 weeks ago. I mean, what is the doctor testing and stuff done so that we can take a look at that and see if they're giving us the full story? Now, there's something to think about here is that doctors are only able to do what their patient is actually telling them and complaining to them about. So sometimes the patients are just not good at explaining what they're going through and dealing with. So you really want to be a service here and really figuring out the whole picture. What medications or Ayurvedic solutions have they tried and are they currently using? So maybe they have gut issues and they've tried some Ayurvedic medicines. And what if so, what are they? Or maybe they are on pharmaceutical medications. Or maybe there's things that they're just not doing that you need to know about, right? What essential oils are they currently using? Are they using doTERRA? Are they using another brand? And you really going through and looking at this, let's say they're using lemon essential oil from another brand, then you would get out your lemon oil and have them smell the difference and see maybe the essential oil they're using is actually holding them in a pattern of not getting better because of the all the harmful fillers and contaminants. Are you allergic to any medications or have any known allergies? Maybe you have food allergies. Maybe you have hay fever or, pollen allergies. Sometimes it's really good to know what people are dealing with, or maybe they just don't know. And that will give you an avenue to kind of focus and look through as well. For example, people are always having a runny, stuffy nose, but they don't know why. Or maybe they have headaches or migraines all the time and they don't know why. These could be symptoms of a root cause of an allergy. Do you have any existing medical conditions or family history with similar concerns? Maybe things like breast cancer seems to be one of those that are um, hereditary. There's gut issues that are hereditary. And so knowing what some of the family is dealing with, Maybe they haven't gone through any medical support on any of these conditions too. So then that way you can actually help the whole family work on it together. So it's just not one person fighting against the family as well. Because sometimes if they have a diet that's changed and the rest of the family is dealing with gut issues and they're not changing the diet, but you're trying to help this one person change the diet. So including the whole family into this is really important. Do you have any concerns about specific body symptoms, like maybe cardiovascular, respiratory, and again, gut health? My family history has a lot of heart attacks, and my uncle died of a blood clot. My grandpa died of a stroke, and my dad died of a stroke or probably a heart attack. We don't know for sure. And that's something that I always am concerned about and looking and taking care of myself in that way to be on top of those issues. And I notice as I'm getting older, it is more difficult to get on those issues, right? Our body's changing. It's got all these health concerns that we always want to be taking a look at. But when I started doing the oils, I was focused on my gut health, and so my gut health. When I start getting that better, then my body's starting to be able to maybe address the cardiovascular hereditary things that I could be doing. Okay. What is your diet consisting of? You guys, this is almost should be the number one question. Like, what is the diet? The diet is huge. I know, like in India, a lot of people eat rice on their 3 meals a day, and that is something that is part of the budget, if you will. It's what the community buys and does. It's what you guys learned how to cook and eat. And sometimes, especially this day and age, where we have so many harmful chemicals and things like that, that sometimes even the seeds are GMO seeds, that our body is getting tired and cannot constantly be fed the same thing over and over again. So it's starting to resist that. There's a lot of glucose and a lot of sugar and carbs that are in rice. And so that is going to be really hard to get on top of the cardiovascular and gut health when you're dealing with that. There are other solutions, changing that up. Look on Amazon on different grains the person could try and the family could try. Excuse me. I don't know where the sneeze came from. But anyway, there's lots of different things that you can look at breaking those patterns. What are your daily exercise? So many people don't exercise. And when you ask these questions to the person, they start thinking about maybe different areas that they can be working on that will help them have a better diet or help them with their heart and help them with different things, right? What are the stress levels? Like, a lot of people, I feel like I was addicted to stress. Like when I was at the shop, if I wasn't amped up, I wasn't working hard enough. And so being able to teach self-care by asking these questions, or they're going to start focusing on really what they're doing and not doing. Have they noticed any changes in their appetite, weight, or sleep patterns? These kinds of questions help them actually pay attention more to their body. Are there any symptoms or concerns you feel that are important to mention that you may not have mentioned? Oh, yeah, I'm not sleeping at night. Again, just asking these questions in different ways. Are you currently experiencing any emotional, physical distress or psychological distress? Maybe a family member's trying to get pregnant or got a divorce or feeling financially strapped or things like a menopause. These things you can't avoid. They're not anything that people can, there's a lot of stigma against psychological things, and sometimes it's things you can't avoid. And so they all should be looked on respectfully. Have you recently traveled or been exposed to any infectious diseases? That is something to be concerned about, especially during the pandemic, and always working on building up your immune system. Are you a smoker or do you consume alcohol or recreational drugs? Sometimes people don't talk about their crutches. And again, essential oils can break those patterns and help people get through that. Are there anything else you would like to talk to me about? These questions, these 22 questions that I kind of came up with and evaluated, I feel are really important to help create a relationship, take down as many notes as you can, and then you want to go back and really show them, um, what we're doing here as far as a wellness consult form, that you're filling this out and you're going to keep it simple though. I really suggest that you go through and show them this Essential the Earth app and say, let's just work on a few things. And the most important ones that you're going to find most notice would be like sleep and gut health, right? And if somebody's dealing with heart issues, you can't tell 100% right away if your heart is better. But if you have gas and you rub the digestion on your stomach and that gas is the oil supporting your body into getting rid of that gas, then that is going to be an immediate result. So kind of focus on that so we can build up the belief in the oils and have people download this app. Here's a little QR code so they could just scan that, and, we talk a lot about this wellness life chart, the live a wellness lifestyle chart. Again, helping people see where the nutrition and digestion is supportive, the movement, exercise, rest and managing stress, and that they're working on their self care. Again, this chart and that wellness, when you're talking to people about a specific thing that they reached out to you, go back to this chart and say, hey, I've got a list of questions that I'm dealing with. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? We talk about this quite often, right? This is a simplistic version of getting them starting to think about what's going on with their health. And I want to tell you that, again, the essential oils pass through the cell membrane, and we're looking at the whole body as a function. Like everything is all connected together. Your breathing brings in oxygen to oxygenate your organs. The food that you're eating is going through and feeding the organs, and it's just an amazing machine, right? And so sometimes when you're looking for the root cause, and a person's dealing with lots of stuff, work on the gut first. The gut is so important in detoxing so that you can cleanse the liver and, the cardiovascular is being affected by, uh, all the um, cholesterol and stuff that's going in, right? So there's a lot of really good things you can do by working on the gut. This is a really good website called Aromatic Science, and the Aromatic Science address this is a doTERRA site, and it does go through different areas. So if you really are struggling with maybe doing a deep dive in some of these things, I suggest looking at this site. It's really great. And so, anyhow, I just really wanted to share with you some of the struggles I have when I talk to people about, they say, Becky, this person's got this. I had a person recently said, my dad's head is shrinking. And I've never heard of that before. So it's just something to do with maybe our language barrier, right? And how he's trying to explain that. Is it a mental health thing? Like maybe he needs psychological support? Is it Alzheimer's? Is it old age? Is it physically the brain is shrinking? Like, the doctor's trying to describe it to the patient. And so really going through and looking at many different things. I had him send me the report, and I take some of those words that I don't know what they are and I Google them, and I look up what the description is. And then I Google some of the words in that description and I do a deeper dive in that so I could try to break down what the doctor is trying to describe to us in layman's terms. So do that, and that is the only way you're going to start learning and knowing, and show the client also what how to do that too. Well, do you know what this is? No, the doctor said it's this. Okay, well, let's really see what this means because it's part of the report, and let's figure out why it's on the report. A lot of reports that I see have like cholesterol level, the different numbers here, and then they show the range. And if the number seems to be in the high range, then look that up and see what's going on when it's in the high range. And then what are the symptoms being in the high range? So maybe it's being tired. So the patient went to the doctors to see why they're tired all the time, right? So then you want to figure out how to help people in those respects. Does that make sense? I sure hope that this was helpful for you. Please take a look at these questions, do a deeper dive when you're talking to people, And I'm so here to help you and support you. But I also want to train you to be able to help your clients as well, have them be proactive in looking up what their health concern is. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to talking to you soon.